I passed the midterms or whatever. Then here's once you're, and that's the thing with these teenagers, they live fast by 15. By 26, they feel like they're in their 60s. And you see them like really age badly because they age too fast. By the time I met them, like they think they're old, like really old. And also because of society. Now it's time for you to get out, to pay rent, to get your own car. If you don't have any of those things, you're a nobody. And I mean, it's great to be independent, but I think it's like, okay, if I don't have this, then I'm a nobody. It's like, well, wait a minute. I mean, if you always live through other people's perspective, you'll never be happy.
Oh yeah.
You never will be.
Yeah, you live for somebody else. You live for somebody else. Yeah.
I think that's the problem. Is that why these people that are scared? They're like, oh man, I'm 21 years old. I'm legal. I still don't have a car because this person. If you hear why you want a car, because this person, you should get a car. But don't because this person said this. Because now you're living through fear. Like, am I capable of living on my own? Am I capable of having a wife? Am I capable of being a dad? Then it's through that fear. And then once you get a car, then they're gonna say, what kind of car is it? Oh, it's a 1997. Bro, it's 97. You should have a 2016 one. Okay, I get a 2016 one, but you missed out on rent from saving up. Oh, you missed out on rent? Bro, you should be making bank. Okay, you make bank. You got a job. Where are you working at? Oh, I'm a janitor. You're a janitor? Man, you should be, it doesn't end. And that person is never going to be, they're always going to be judging you over and over, and it's just like, there's 7 billion people on this planet, maybe even more. And I'm going to live through fear for just one guy. So it's like, no, I'm going to do it for me. Whenever I'm going to get a car, whenever I'm going to get a bike, a motorcycle, whatever, it's like, you want to applaud me? Great. If you want to boo me? Great. Guess what? I'm still going to do it. I'm not going to live through your, be like a puppet through fear, through life. Like, oh man, I'm still living.
I'm not going to live a life of feeling of judgment.
Yeah, that's it. And it's just, it doesn't stop. So I think that's another thing teachers fail at. It's because they're always just pointing that finger. Instead of, you're not really guiding, you're pointing them that fear and just kind of like, have you ever seen those birds, how they throw them out of the nest and they have to fly?
Oh,
fly or die. There's some things to do that.
That's an ultimate parenting move right there.
That's one way to learn and different things, but there's other ways too for like a student, teachers or parents to guide them. Give them confidence too. I think that's a lot of parents that don't do that. They instead of giving them confidence about the world, they give them fear.
Yeah, constant positive feedback.
So it's just like, there's other things too to throw your kid or your baby out of the nest and they gotta fly. But there are times we don't fly, and maybe we're not meant to fly. Maybe we're meant to swim. Maybe we're meant to bike. Maybe we're meant to climb.
It goes back to we're all different. We're all different. We all
So,
have different paths. We all have different ways we process things.
I think that's the problem with teachers. Are like, oh, you didn't fly? Well, wait a minute. Maybe I meant to climb. Look at Spider-Man. He's a superhero, but he's not Superman. Superman doesn't. So everybody's different in their own way. So I think that's what teachers really fail at. Is they limit you and they're like, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? I don't know yet. Well, then there's your answer. It's like, okay, thanks. Are you excited?
Yeah, it's not at least from my experience, like a high school and just education system, not like the best environment to get an understanding of yourself and foster growth from. So build your own self-awareness, because that's ultimately one of the biggest things you can have moving through life is your own self-awareness, because through your own self-awareness you're going to realize what you're good at, what you're bad at, what you can work on, how you can approach fear, how you can approach failure, how you can react to certain scenarios and go about it, how you operate with relationships, because ultimately like your quality of life can be defined by the relationships you have with others. That's why like you guys being brothers and having a great relationship, that's amazing to hear. Like, 'cause there's so many siblings that don't have a great relationship, and there's not necessarily anything wrong with that, but at the same time, family's up there as far as like quality of life. Like, you have a good family, and that's like a good support network, good foundation for just life in general, just living in general. I feel like you were going to say something when he was talking. I feel like, no, I thought he was going to
Maybe just agreeing.
No, I'm just
But like, just going back to what I was saying, like, look at Oprah. I mean, I read about her how she was raped at 13, or I think 9, had her first kid at 13, and had a miscarriage, and then she was homeless. And look at her, you know. So I don't understand why people use their failure as like judgment, like you're being chained up, you're being shackled. No, some of the best failures become the most successful, and actually people will look up to them even more.
Yeah. I think a lot of times, just from an early age, people get pre-programmed to see failure as a bad thing and not want to continue fail. Like they respond bad to failures. They don't see the benefit in what failures can do. So like with Oprah's situation, she had all those struggles, all those, in a lot of sense, failures and just negativity in her life, and she was able to break through it and see it as like the positive to it, where it toughened her up, it hardened her up, where it made everything she did later in life extremely easy. And I'm sure that's why she's still successful to this day, because she went through such a hard time that it weathered her in a sense, and like it built like this body armor where she can take on anything. Like you look at Jay-Z, like if you were in a room with him, like a boardroom or something, like he would be just a boss. He would just essentially own you in a meeting because of all the things he's done on the street growing up at an early age, and to this point now where he's just like a strong businessman, because he's literally dealt with like drug dealers or whatever, like hardcore street people. He knows what that's like. And then to talk to like just another like business person or entrepreneur, like he's like, you got nothing on me, dude. Like let's get down to business and let's just get to the point. Like don't waste my time, kind of thing.
I mean, like there was this one movie that me and him watched actually. It was with Will Smith and his little boy.
Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah,
that's an awesome movie.
Yeah.
That's an awesome movie.
I was telling you about that, remember? In one of the first podcasts we did.
Yeah.
Christopher Gardner.
That's right, Christopher. Yeah, that's right. We were talking
That's
about.
another guy you can look up to.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, it's a very inspirational movie. Just it shows you like the dedication or drive somebody has for supporting.
I think actually, if you watch the documentary in the book.
There's a documentary.
Oh yeah, plenty. That guy's a larger than life icon, of course.
I didn't know that.
Just type in his name, just documentaries of him, and if you just, there's some things that they could not put in the movie. And I read some of his book and I'm like, wow, that is very dark. And so he's a true inspiration. I don't know how he's not as famous as he should be, and you have idiots like Cash Me Outside Girl.
Yeah. What's her name? Diana?
Daniela. I don't know how to say her last name, but her. You know what I'm talking about?
No, dude, I don't pay attention to that stuff, so I have no idea what you guys are talking
maybe
about.
it's better
you
if you
know,
don't. There's Dr. Phil. Yeah, there
Yeah.
was a stupid little girl who her behavior is stupid. Her mom put her on the show to get help because she was being a disrespectful little brat. She thought she was a thug or a gangster. She's not. She dresses like a 20-year-old. If you see her, she's like, wow, she's good looking. She's actually 14. And she said this one line, "Cash me outside, how about that?" And people are like, what? And it means meet me outside, and like she's calling you out. Or catch me outside or cash me outside.
It's Catch Me Outside, but people say Cash Me, like, I don't know why.
But she said that one stupid little line, and now she's infamous. She's famous. She's all over Vine, social
Right.
media, YouTube. They made remix out of her. They bought her a $90,000
Yeah.
Lamborghini. I'm like, her mother tried to get her help, and you're making her famous for being a stupid little brat, and you're putting me on trial, telling me where am I going to be in 15 years when you stupid little girls like that are being famous. But you have Christopher Gardner, who went through so much, who could be an inspiration.
Right.
You're not making him that much famous, but you're making stupid people like that
Yeah.
famous. Thank you a lot. So why should I listen to you? So tell me why you're questioning me, where you see me in 15 years, when this girl here, and who is making her famous? Adults.
Yeah.
Adults. That's
Yeah.
not right.
Yeah. Well, it just kind of plays like how the system works for a lot of sense. Like the system works like for social media is all about like what captivates people's attention. A lot of times people's attention is very short, condensed. Like you look at like was it Vine? Vine operated like off 6-second videos. Like that just shows you as a society like, man, we have a small attention span. So like in her case, I already forgot the gal's name. I'm not gonna like remember it because I don't want to put that in my brain or whatever. But like in her case, she has like some quote or like some phrase that became popular.
That's it.
Whereas Christopher Gardner, it's Christopher Gardner, right?
Yeah.
He's like such an inspiration, but people still have to spend a little more time just digging into his story to get a sense of who he is. Whereas this gal, like,
They should look at him more than that.
Oh,
Catch Me Outside.
absolutely. There's so much more value, like putting your time and your mental energy
She's only
absorbing
13,
him versus
like, and how she
wow,
get-
she's 13.
Yeah,
She's 13 or 14, but she's
Yeah.
she's too young to be.
and the way how she dresses too, man.
It's very sad. And why a $90,000 Lamborghini? Why are you rewarding her for being stupid and immature? So that's meaning another 13 is going to look at that and they'll be like, wow, I can just disrespect my parents
Yeah.
and society's gonna give me this and that, while the other person who's like Christopher Gardner or someone like Oprah who's really struggling doing the right thing, and all you're doing is saying, where do you see yourself? Wow, you're homeless, or you still don't have a car? You're a loser.
Yeah.
But this stupid girl who her mother tried to help her, you're making her famous for being disrespectful to her mother? Man, that's why I hate society for that. That part, that's why I get mad at society.
Well, well, beauty is we shouldn't really focus on society. We should all just kind of focus on us, really. And you guys know, you just expressed it like. You don't, you don't value what she's doing, or you don't value like what she puts out, so you don't really pay attention to her.
That's why we do that. That's why we have that mentality. F the world. Because I look at that and I say, and when people ask me why do you say that? Well, here's why.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to pay attention to the world.
Yeah. Don't even like really give much consideration. Just shut it down. That I like what she represents, an idea, and just don't even think about it. Really, like get that out of like your mind or whatever. Because at that point it's just toxic. RAM in your head essentially, or memory or whatever at that point. So it's just taking up space. There's no value in it whatsoever. No value. All right, dude. We got the first yawn on the podcast. Oh, yeah.
Is that your youngest guy in the podcast?
Yeah, dude. You're actually the youngest. I was about to say you're my youngest. That sounds so weird. Really, yeah. You're actually the youngest person on the podcast so far, which is really cool to have. Like, I'm all about just like different perspectives. Because in all honesty, we can learn anything from anyone, no matter what the age is. Like, I'm
just starting too.
Yeah, dude. I did a video podcast earlier today with the guy in England, and he's in his 50s or whatever, and I'm 23 or whatever. And he actually made the comment like, you could replace your head, like he was referring to me, my head, with like a 95-year-old philosopher, just because of the way I like communicate and articulate and stuff. And I can honestly like kick it with anybody or like just communicate and have like a stimulating conversation. But then I made the comment like, well, you can definitely like you can learn like anything from anyone, no matter what the age is. Like I learn all the time from a 9-year-old kid I train who's in a wheelchair. Like I learn a lot of stuff from him, and like I learn stuff from you guys all the time, like 18, 26. Like no matter, like age doesn't mean anything.
Age is just a number.
Yeah, it's just
experience.
Yeah, experience, mindsets, perspectives, how you just operate in life. Like ultimately, what is your why? You answered your why the other day. Hey, we got a call. It's not a close set. It's okay.
Sorry about that, guys.
No worries.
Yeah, going back to the why.
Yeah, Chris, what is your why ultimately? So like when I say your why do you do the things you do right now? And once you start asking yourself that, you'll notice it. At least for me, it changes all the time. But it just, I'll let you just feel it out. I don't know what you're thinking right now, but just feel it out.
Well, mainly because, it's just, like I said, the doubters. They can tell you can't do this. Like, I see you doing this and that. But you can tell your mind, like, no, I know I can do more than that. I can prove you guys wrong. And, like, just for a fact that I fought, like, 3 weeks ago, nobody knew I was going to do it. And nobody knew I was actually going to get in shape, And I did. And there's still more for me to come. I'm not done yet. I'm just still facing reality right now. I just recently graduated high school. Yeah. I'm just still facing
duty calls.
Yeah. Duty calls. I'm just still facing reality right now. So, there's still a lot for me to learn. And I ain't gonna say I'm too old to do this. Or, no, man. I'm so young. I'm only 18 years old.
Well, you should never be afraid about the mindset like you're too old or even too young to like learn new skills or take on new tasks.
Going back to Kimbo,
yeah,
he became a pro fighter in his mid-30s.
That's true. He took on he learned mixed martial arts at like 30. Like
here's another guy.
In his 30s, like he just was a street fighter up until that point when he learned mixed martial arts.
Here's another guy you could look up to. Ken Shamrock.
Ken Shamrock, yeah, he's an old UFC fighter, right?
And he actually had his last fight when he was like in his 50s, I think, like in his early 50s, and that's when he retired. Yeah, because my friends told me like he's actually in his 50s. I'm like, what? And there's no way he can be fighting that age. And I looked, it's like, dang, he's actually that old, and he still fought.
Have you guys ever heard of Herschel Walker? He's a running back for the Minnesota Vikings. And after he got done with football, he actually became a mixed martial arts fighter. And this guy, I think he still fights. I might be wrong though, but he's like in his late 40s, and he literally just has like the body of a mid 20-year-old or whatever, and he's fit.